the Rainey Center hosts something that you've just described to me before we got recording here, called the Energize 2030 Initiative around AI and energy. You can take a minute to describe what that is, and then this AI debate is happening in a bigger picture kind of thing that's going on right globally. So, question I'd like you to answer is, what is the importance of AI in the bigger picture?
That's an excellent question. I'll start with your first question. We are here in Utah kicking off our Energize 2030 initiative. This is a series of state-based day-long workshops and dialogues with elected officials, government, industry, and community leaders about AI, energy, and stewardship. So we're really excited to come here to Utah first. A lot of smart people are here in Utah working on these issues. And that's tomorrow, our very first one. And we'll be going to several other states and doing a report on our findings with recommendations on how we can best win the AI arms race while protecting consumers and also making sure that we steward the environment. The second question, the civilizational aspects of AI. We are in a point in history where we have a technology that is extraordinary, and extraordinary like the nuclear bomb. There was a race to get the nuclear bomb. I'm from New Mexico. We're very proud to be the birthplace of the atomic era and to be the place where we keep our nation's nuclear brilliance. And we, even as a country back then, we recruited the top scientists away from Germany, away from other countries with whom we were competing, because we knew we had to get the bomb first. We knew it was coming. And with AI and sophisticated levels of AI, things like artificial general intelligence, we have to get there first. We have to get there first because this isn't just about energy. It's not just about weapons. Like all global conflict and all civilizational questions, it's about values. And it's about whether or not the values of the Chinese Communist Party and how they've used AI to create a surveillance state and a social credit system and other things that are not aligned with the Western values that you and I share, those values of freedom, of agency, of our constitutional rights, of the individual's right to make choices about their own life and their rights to privacy, for example. It's really about that. It's about what the future will be like in 100 years, 250 years for my great nieces and nephews, for your great grandchildren. And we have to win. We have to win for Western values, which puts us in the place of thinking about, well, how do we go about winning? We don't want to win by becoming like the Chinese Communist Party, by saying, by fiat, we're going to build whatever we want, wherever we want, and do whatever we want as the government to win this arms race. We want to win by honoring those values and thinking about, okay, how does building the electricity we need? Because look, the AI arms race, fundamentally, it's an electricity war. It's an energy race. AI needs a lot of energy. And we've got to generate as much electricity as possible. Already in this country, you have data centers that have to go offline in the middle of the day at peak electricity demand because there's just not enough to go around. And so we've got to generate energy. We've got to build generation quickly. And we've got to do it all in a way that's respectful of communities and the environment too, because we don't want to lose what makes our Western values special in terms of inclusion and dialogue, avoiding the top-down fiat governance. We don't want to lose that in the context of winning this war.
Yeah, it's really almost like you mentioned a war, and it's almost like a Cold War scenario here, where you have two visions of the world competing through this mechanism of AI, and we have to decide if we're going to, like you said, are we going to win that existential war? Because if we don't, it will be an unpleasant world for future generations. If we don't,
AI agents are going to make choices for your grandchildren instead of your grandchildren having the agency to make those choices themselves.
So within that context, you see news stories every day on AI, some talking about benefits, some talking about concerns people have. But maybe what is lying underneath all of that is that AI is impacting our lives already in many beneficial ways. So question I wanted to ask you is, what are the benefits AI is producing that maybe we just don't see and they're just not apparent to us?
There are so many. For example, one great Utah case study is when Amelia Powers Gardner was a county clerk in Utah County. She's a great friend of the Rainey Center. She's about to go on our board. We're really excited about that. she instituted a program where it uses AI to track people's ballots. So if you are mailing in a ballot and you're dropping it off or you're mailing it, they have an AI program that helps track those ballots. And that's a wonderful use of AI. It helps make sure that our elections are secure. There are other things. I'm a nerd. I'm a researcher. I went to graduate school 3 times. I'm not sure I recommend that to other people, but I loved it. And AI can do incredible things. It can compile millions of pages of research that would take someone a lifetime to absorb. So it's giving us a leg up on medical breakthroughs, on scientific breakthroughs in many areas of life. It's not just about, the autocorrect in your iPhone that's making you crazy. It's not just about how it helps sort your email for you automatically. It is really about helping humans have a better quality of life, done right. But that said, it needs to be like the U.S. military. We have a United States military, which is very important to our founders, that military be under civilian control. It's under the control of the President of the United States. And AI, we need the same. AI needs to be under control of humans. And we need to make sure that in winning this AI arms race that we stay there.
So one other example, I think, on the quality of life side that I remember seeing recently is a University of Pennsylvania research announcement that they came out examining antibiotics and the resistance to antibiotics among bacteria. And they, using an AI model, searched over 40 million potential sources of new generation antibiotics using spider and snake venoms, and found the 400 in a matter of a couple of hours, found 400 possible sources that could become these next generation. Again, searching through a 40 million database, unit database would take a person a long, long, long time.
Well, what a step forward for innovation research.
Exactly.
Even right now, I find it slightly creepy, but it's also incredible. One of my friends, lost their home, their whole neighborhood in the Pacific Palisades fire. There is a new entity, a new company that uses AI as part of it. They can identify a fire starting within minutes using satellites and AI to analyze all the data all over the entire globe, which is incredible. Think about what that could do to help us fires are a big problem in Utah.
Yeah, in the whole West.
Yeah. Yes, as a Western girl. I remember when I was in college and half of Los Alamos burned down. Imagine having that AI-powered technology that can help us identify and extinguish those fires before they're too big.
Yeah.
Imagine how many lives that will protect.
So, maybe you mentioned this, you raised the idea this may be a little creepy in some ways.
It is a little creepy that there's all these satellites up there that can see everything.
Sure, yeah. It's Google Maps, but
right, Google Maps. Google Maps, Google Earth. It's so helpful, so awesome, and also, why is there that picture of grandma bending over in the garden on the internet for everyone to see? Right. Yeah,
So that points to maybe a follow-up question is, what are the aspects of AI that, there are people who think it's really a threat to anything and everything, Is that legitimate in your view? And what aspects of AI do we need to be actually concerned about for regulation reasons?
I think it's back to the civilizational question that we raised at the beginning. It's about who do we want to be? What kind of values do we want our society to have? And how are we going to use AI in the context of those values? Like any tool, it can be used by people for good. It can be used by people for evil. And that will be the case with AI. You've got hackers using AI to try to hack in and steal people's money and steal people's identities. And then we have, the white hat hackers who are trying to use AI to protect people and to harden systems. And we have to understand that who is using the AI and for what purpose is going to matter a lot. And that's where the civilizational question comes in. If, say, the vision of the world and the vision of what people are embraced by the Chinese Communist Party, not the Chinese people, but the Chinese Communist Party leadership that soldered people into their apartments during COVID and let them die alone, has for humanity, or the one that Western values that have given us incredible prosperity in the West, that have given people incredible quality of life and agency to live their lives the way that they please. places where we have conversations about how, well, a social credit system isn't good because people do need to be able to make choices in their lives, versus in China where they have this, and whether or not you can get to study certain things or go to school or have jobs or get a home loan depend on, social choices that you make that are tracked by their AI and their surveillance state. That's what we're choosing between. So we have to win the AI arms race. We have to be the best in the world at artificial intelligence. We have to get to AGI first, and we have to keep leading. America must lead on this because our values depend on it. Our values guiding the future of our people depend on it. If we fall behind, the world for the next several hundred years is going to be a world guided by the values of the Chinese Communist Party.
Thanks for watching that clip of Defending Ideas. For the full conversation, click the link in the description and make sure to like and subscribe wherever you get your shows.